Is everybody? We have had a busy week. I'm just coming on at the end of the week to say hi. Hi. All right. So, are we all exercising? Are we excited that summer's here? Because I'm super excited. So, I don't know. Let's see. I'm lowering this maybe. Yeah. We'll lower it like this till y'all come on here. The beginning of my videos are insane because I'm talking to myself. Hi, you guys. How is everybody? Okay. All right. Why is this crooked? It's always freaking crooked. Oh, of course. You know it wouldn't be me if I wasn't trying to fix this. Hi, you guys. Oh my God, we're here. Hi from Australia. I know, right? Everybody, super busy, super busy. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's up. I just came from this this crazy beginner flexibility mobility class. Crazy. I was like, hi from Toronto. I was like, oh my God, the shit that they have you do. Like, you have to, it's really isolating muscles. It's like craziness. It's just a lot. Like, I'm talking to myself in the class. Everyone's listening to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. This is too much. So, anyway, I did it after I went running this morning. So, you know how that goes. That's the shit that happens over here. I don't think hey, JFK assassination at this point, I don't care. You guys ask me current events, but I don't really care. From the Bronx, I used to have a little friend from the Bronx when I was growing up. He came to summer camp where I was at summer camp. So his dad shipped him from New York to Toronto up north every summer. Yes. Oh, is the rumor I can't believe I have to get the micro. The rumor is you're a CIA operative. Is it? Is that really the fucking rumor? Shut up. You're stupid. How stupid are you? Like, are you stupid? You're stupid, right? Mm. There's no CIA over here. I wouldn't work for the government. I've said it like 7,000 times. I don't know how else to say it. Just ridiculous. I know, it's hilarious. It's like, yeah, people in LA know me. You know what I mean? People in LA know me. I've been here 40 years. There's no CIA operative. There's no CIA operative. Look at this terrible shirt. Anyway, it's fucking hilarious. They're like, you're this. You people are stupid. Not you people, the people who say that. Stupid. No, I mean, everybody in LA knows me. Like, people know me here. I've been doing this. I've been doing this work for 40 years in Los Angeles, 39 years in Los Angeles. So, like, yeah. I mean, when you're psychic, the CIA does have psychics work for them, but that's not me. I can't conform to, I work for myself. So I conform to nobody's anything. I'm not going to work for you. You're not going to throw money at me and make me work for you. I'm going to do what I want when I want. That's it. That's it. I mean, I don't know what to say. Oh my God, right? Like, please. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Justin, but they do have remote viewers. You guys have to stop focusing on the celebrity stuff because they're distracting you with that. So, yeah, that plaque, somebody sent me that. I wouldn't sign up, on YouTube. That is the gaslighting. Yeah, the celebrities or the fact that I'm CIA. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I do believe in human design. It's another way of reading. Yeah, it's great. Human design. I think the Diddy, I'm totally sweating. It's like 90 here. And look, I got to get my arms back in shape now, y'all. I've been wearing turtlenecks all winter. So now I got to get my distracting from the government. What do you think? Your money is being ripped off. Every day your money is being ripped off. And you want to know about Justin Bieber. Who gives a fuck? I mean, I give a fuck, but come on now. Come on. You care about Ryan Reynolds and his stupid wife and that lawsuit? That's all distraction. And there's a reason they're focusing on it. Nobody cares. Women have been sexually abused for years at work. Every single woman is abused at work at one time or another in their career. You will hear a woman say, this guy tried to put his hand up my skirt. This guy tried to grab my ass. This guy told me he'd fire me if I didn't suck his dick. I mean, I don't know who hasn't heard that. I don't actually know anybody. And it happens to men too. So why do we care, right? You can't change it. I can't change it. No one's going to change it. So stop paying attention to their lawsuit. By the way, I've been sued many a time. I love that I've been sued so many a time. I do believe in aliens under the sea. This is so normal. Yeah, you know what? It is normal. And yeah, I don't care. I never cared when I was younger. I was just like, I told you the story. I worked at this Hungarian bar restaurant where they did like disgusting food anyway, like, cause I don't eat meat, right? So anyway, every day when I work my shift, I had to go down to the restroom was down in the bottom of like you had to go down the stairs. And downstairs was like all the beer and all the supplies. And so every time I had to go to the bathroom, the owner of the bar came down there and shoved me in the bathroom. So after one or two times of that, and I couldn't get away from him, I ran down the street and used somebody else's bathroom. That's what I did. I'm like, you motherfucker, I'll hold it all day long and you'll never get near me. So yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, no, it happened all the time. Thank you for that. Yeah, it happened all the time. Just, yeah, well, you're Hungarian. I don't eat meat. So I didn't like the meat. Like anything with meat. I don't like hamburgers. I don't like meat. So, I don't know what to say. It's just like, whatever. You should have pissed on him. I didn't want to get like raped in the bathroom. And his wife was really gorgeous. She also was Hungarian and she was a former Playboy bunny. And he had two beautiful kids. And I was like, he was short though. So I figured he was like jealous of his wife and thought he would fuck with her by going after little girls that were, working in the bar. So yeah, so fuck that guy. Anyway, but I'm saying it happens. Like men have stories. In Hollywood, it was Kevin Spacey, okay? It was Kevin, do you have a white cat? No, I don't have a white cat. My cat, well, she's partially white and gray, I guess. Kind of white and gray, right? I know. Well, it happened at every job. I mean, like that just happened. They think you're stupid. You know what I mean? I like turkey eggs. Yeah, I do not eat. Yeah, I don't eat the red meat either. And I don't eat like the barbecue stuff. So I'm like anything with sauce on it, I want to see. Anyway, when I had my group of friends that I used to go with, which Libra Lorie was one of them, right? At Starbucks. So there were a lot of camera guys and a lot of people that worked on shows with Kevin Spacey. And he got a crew member took off from the shows he was on because he would grope them. The cameramen, this is directly out of their mouths, would tell me that they had to warn young men not to go over near Kevin Spacey because he would grope them. And many of them quit because of him. And same with John Travolta. These are stories like, so these people do it to boys too, men, young ones in their 20s, on the sets. So yeah, it's thank you for that, y'all. I did Gene Hackman. I did the video. It's on Patreon right now. It'll come over to YouTube by Tuesday since I was a day late putting it up over there. But yeah, so it'll come over. Anyway, the first thing I said on Gene Hackman's, the day he died, I said it had to do with the property. And I'm still sticking with that. It has to do with the property. It's obviously the property. Kanye spills some truth and takes it back and he's not lying. What he's saying, he's not lying. I mean, he shouldn't be calling little kids the R word. However, let's ask yourself this. So in our society, okay, what's that show? American Horror Stories. Remember the circus freak people in the show? Like the ones that looked all crazy and what's her name? Jessica Lange had a daughter on the show, right? You remember that? And so I can't help it if the stream's lagging. I'm sorry, you guys. But you remember that? Do you remember like developmentally disabled is the term for the R, okay? So American Horror Stories. So they were commodity. The fatter, the taller, the bigger, the better, right? So she had downs, right? She was slower. So if you are slower, and we hear it all the time, you can be used for sexual video and games, and you're not going to fight back in the same way, are you? I don't think Brian Koberger is the one. I've said that from day one. But that's why you might have two kids using in vitro to make them come out a certain way, right? Right. So that may be what that's about. That could be why they're saying it. But Kanye's not lying. Kanye is telling the truth when he says what he says. I know everyone has psychic abilities, but hold on, what's this? But how do you understand or unlock it? Okay, Leah, yeah, not everybody has psychic abilities. That's a lie. They want you to think it's common. That's like saying everybody can play basketball or sing. You can sing, but how well do you sing? Like my friend Libra Lorie's a singer and she's a beautiful singer. I can sing in my car or my bathtub, but you ain't going to like my singing, okay? So when they say that, they try to discredit people who have an ability. And I don't like that they do that. I'm not saying you don't have an ability, but not everybody has a psychic ability any more than everybody has a developed insight into their surroundings or even an understanding of math. Okay, not everybody can do math. Okay, seriously. I sing really bad, but I sing, yeah, alone. But my point is, when they say everybody's psychic, you have intuition, but no, not everybody's psychic. They have to stop saying that. It's a commonality. Everybody can do this. No, they can't. No, they can't. Okay. No, they can't. They want you to think that. They want you to think that. It depends if your genetic DNA lineage, ancestral lineage promotes that. Okay. So that's what they want you to think, like you build it up. I think the way to build it up in your own life is trusting your gut is not psychic, though. Okay. Strippers unite for sure, Bethany. Strippers rock. Trusting your gut is an instinctual thing. A psychic thing is a more developed thing or a more focused on thing. So I know, I'm so sick of people. They want to discredit you. They're like, you're common. They love to do that. Everybody can be a brain surgeon, you know. You just have to unlock your ability. You don't want me operating on you. I'm dyslexic and fucked up and can't add or subtract and can't follow direction. You really don't want me operating on you. Um, yeah, the gut tells the truth, but it's still not, it doesn't mean that your psychic ability is predictive. It's a predictive type thing. However, having said that, the way I don't know, it's the camera. They're on my left arm. The tattoos, Jason, Keithy, Jason. Okay, so anyway, thank you for that. Yeah, you can, whatever you're told when you're younger, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying in generalities, when they tell everybody that they're psychic, it discredits. They hate psychics. They like to make us clowns and weird. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. So the way to unlock it is to focus on things like the girl missing in the Dominican Republic. Focus on that, write down what you get, dream what you get, whatever it is you get, and see if it comes out to be true. That's how you test. Or ask your friends. Do you have a question? Ask me a question. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you so much. Ask if you have like a question. And so your friend will say, well, I want to know about my cousin. Do you think they're going to get married or whatever, right? And that's how you test it. I mean, I did boot camp readings, meaning I was working in the strip clubs and I would read the dancers, read the prostitutes, read the guys, the drug dealers, the people, as I said, for cigarettes, for whatever, bleach, hairdressers. I always read a hairdresser to get my hair done back then. And so I just had to do it on the fly and I had to do it right there, right then. And when you do parties, hi, Anthony, Justin Free Canada, thank God. When I had to do parties, thank you for that. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you. Tarot can be used to practice intuition. Absolutely. Yeah, it can. As I said, I learned to read tarot when I worked in one of the bookstores because everybody read tarot. I didn't. I don't necessarily use the cards. I do what I do. I don't have any kind of skincare line. I wash my face with, it's something with a C that you get in the local grocery store, ceviche or whatever. So I put that on in the shower and I put vitamin E oil on or whatever cheap ass shit on my face. I do not do, I've never had a facial. I don't do that shit. Yes, that's it. CER. Yeah, that stuff. And it's like $16. I use Neutrogena. And so I use L'Oreal face something cream that I got at Marshall's for $7. That's what I'm using this week. Or I leave coconut oil in my shower and I leave vitamin E. So that goes on my body. And then I use a firming lotion on my ass because, you know, gravity catching up. So I do that and my feelings are hurt because I know I can't sing. Oh, hi in Switzerland. I saw the video. Yeah, no, I know about that, but the Diddy video. Yes. So anyway, that's what I do. Let's see. How can I don't believe in ketamine therapy. I think you're crazy to do ketamine therapy. I'm not a doctor. You do what you got to do. But I've been doing personal readings for 40 years. Count it. Probably longer than you've been alive. I only do them from my website and only when I open my books. And don't be emailing me or messaging me when you're going to open your books because I live a life. I'm not all about reading day in and day out, day in and day out. I'm about exercise and I'm getting ready to go away next week. So I'm going to light myself on fire again, wear my 8-inch shoes and my G-strings and hang out on equipment and take pictures with a bunch of people. So I'm in a room with Bethany and Sid and I'm super excited. It's going to be super fun. So these are the fun girls that I go with. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. And then I come back. Then I'm going to the Grand Canyon. And then I come back and I'm going to Mexico. And then I come back and I'm going to Canada. That is what I'm doing. The building is beautiful. Again, Andro has helped me out, him and his family. Sent me the crew that I need. We got the bathroom upstairs. We got the tile going up. My friend Lorie is helping me finish it. She gave me some help with finishing it. And Lorie, not Libra Lorie, this is Lorie Burns that runs a shelter, which I'm going to tell you the story with this. This is her book. I don't know if you guys remember George Burns and he played God on TV, right? John picked the tile. John picks the tile. Yeah, exactly. So this is Notes to George. Remember George Burns? It happens to have the same last name as Lorie, but they don't know each other, as far as I know. Anyway, I went out to Long Beach and I met with Lorie yesterday. And she has the shelter. She's the one that bought Children of the Night and redid it and put a room in there for Keith and for all the other girls that have left, which is great. And this is her book. It's called Notes to George, The Whisperer. So yay, Toronto. So anyway, she marked the pages where I'm all through her book, but she marked the pages where I start because for like 12 years I've been reading her. And she's like, remember when you said this? I'm like, I have no fucking memory of that. She's like, yeah, remember when you said this? And I'm like, I have no idea what I said to you other than what I'm saying right now. So anyway, she wrote it down and it's absolutely wonderful. So she is just great. Visions and things you get that you don't focus on. What do you mean? Sagittarius goddess, the visions you get and don't focus on? I ignore a lot of shit. I don't care. Yes, George Burns. Exactly, Bethany. That's who she did. Do you read it? Okay, here's the thing with a true psychic whose path it is to do the work. We read on everybody. Everybody. Your kid, your dog, your incestuous father, your fucked up drug addict mother, your rich mother, your poor mother, your adopted mother, your birth mother, your dead mother, your boyfriend, your lover, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, all of that, right? There's nobody that a psychic doesn't read on. We read on everything. We read on your kids. We read on your cats. We read on your llamas. We read on absolutely. The book's name is Notes to George, and it's called The Whisper by Lorie Burns. Can you see? So if you look up this on Amazon. It should be there. I've not finished reading it yet because I just got it yesterday. I just got it. Let's see. My website is my name. My bookings are closed right now because I'm on a traveling schedule, and then I come back, I do readings, and then I leave again, right? And I come back, I go, I come back, I go, because I live, I'll ever read Tallulah. Yes, Lou. Lou is a crazy little bitch. She got me last night. Oh, she got me right here. She got mad. I was cuddling her face, and then she went, whoosh, and I said, oh my God, get off my couch. Are you clear? I'm all of those. Lana, to answer your question, I'm all of those. For the most part, I'm clairaudient. I hear wording outside of myself. So, or the wording flies out of my mouth. So I'm also offensive to people. But Johnny woke up out of the coma, as in he's cognitive, and he's trying to talk. Which is good. So he's got some recovery to do, but I was very happy to hear that he's got a long way though. That was a very horrific thing. You're not a good psychic. Oh, thank you. You're not a good person. I mean, you can't really judge a psychic till you like judge them from reading them. And psychics are not gonna, whatever. But I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. People are, it's really weird society. Come online and go, you're not a good psychic. Well, you're not a fucking very good looking person. You're a bitch ass bitch. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Apparently Johnny said he was Batman. So that's what he said to his sister. I burst out laughing when she called me because that sounds like Johnny. He's like, I'm Batman. And I'm like, yes, you are. He's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah, I read myself. I read when my son was going to die. Absolutely. 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 Yes. I've said it. I've seen things. That doesn't mean I always see things. Sometimes I'm ignoring them. Sometimes I'm having a conversation and people want you to be psychic all day long. I don't want to live like that. Johnny was in a very bad car accident in February, at the end of February, and he was not awake and very body broken. So I cannot wait till he recovers everything. So we are literally praying every day for him. And when he woke up out of the coma, when he woke up out of that, I was like, and then I talked to him through the phone, but he didn't want to do FaceTime. His sister was going to do FaceTime and he didn't want to do that. So I was just blah, blahing through the phone, like that. And now he's trying to talk. So that's good. That'll take a while. And they're doing all the things they do to recuperate somebody. So when I'm able to, it was an accident. Yeah, we don't really know what happened. I don't think he remembers. So, no, not my husband. It was Johnny, my friend, that's helping me build the warehouse. No, not my ex, my friend. Everybody's named Johnny in my life. So it's another Johnny. But yeah, no, I didn't tell he was going to be in an accident. That's not how psychic ability works. I did tell my child he was going to die, though. I did get that. I mean, that was pertinent to me. At the time when Johnny left, we were like having a good night. It was Wednesdays, like, I'll see you Friday. And I was like, yay. And I thought he was like really happy. And so that was such a great thing. And I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I didn't even feel it when it happened. So yeah, I broke, someone put on me. I have not broken curses on people. I mean, I've unbound them, but it's difficult because it can be generational. I don't understand why you people talk silly. Anyway, did you buy it? Yeah, I think that's great. She'll love that. Yeah, look. See, she did her cover. I'm so proud of her. She wrote this book. She writes book quicker than shit, and she has such an interesting life story. So it is a generational thing with the curses. Yeah, I must have a curse. Well, don't go around thinking you have a curse. You can break it. I mean, praying in the name of Jesus breaks curses like that. I do consider myself a healer. That's all I've done is take care of people, to answer your question. That's all I've done my entire life is look after drug addicts, alcoholics, sexually abused children, runaway children. We've taken kids in our house. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, not a nurse or anything, but I live my life like that. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. No, the woman did not apologize for jack shit. So for those that you have to pray to get rid of curses. And even then, people in your life put them on you. Like there's some shitty people out here. I've put one curse on a person. I shouldn't have done it, but I literally almost like literally put my fist through her face. And I remember Keith's friend Jordan, he comes over, he touches me on the shoulder. He's like, don't do it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, don't do it. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do it. But anyway, when the day that Keith died and it was the next day after, and we were at the memorial on the street, and there were people that were coming, to tell me how they knew Keith. And then of course, all Keithy's friends. So I went, and this clown lady, I took videos of her. I'm going to have to do a YouTube channel with this stupid bitch. She came in a clown car and she was wearing like balloon pants. And she was like, she goes, well, like I called the police, and she's like in our face. And I'm like, and she goes, well, why are you doing this on the side of the road? The candles. And I said, well, it's kind of like none of your business. And so anyway, she came up. I got so mad at what she was saying to me that I was like, I'm going to fuck you up, right? So I did put a curse on her for 9 years. I did. I lost my mind, and I did. And she was like a, what did Jordan say? Jordan picked it up perfect. He's like, she's like a zombie or something. She's not. She's like something in her body. Weirdest fucking thing. She had eyes like a, and then, yeah, it was terrible. But that's what happened to me. Mm-hmm. And it was weird. The cops come over and they asked Jason a question. He's like, I just wished her the same pain that she was causing at that moment to come back on her. The same thing I was experiencing to come back on her. Like, don't fuck with people when they're grieving. It's not a nice thing to do, but I did. And Jordan's like, he's like, Sloan. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, she came in Karen in a clown car. So the woman that pulled out in front of Keith, now Detective Stacy, who is a homicide detective and a friend of the family, she saw the first video from the homeowner, and she said, this is the beginning of the accident. Like, there's a series of events, but this person pulling out in front of your son caused it. So the police could never find it, so they blamed it on my Keith. I did open up a case with Internal Affairs and got a letter saying, agreeing with what I said, okay, about that. The weather's really hot. It was like 85 today. I'm dying. I was in a sweaty class. I was like, oh. Anyway, so the woman pulled out, and as I said, I've told this story so many times, I'm sorry it's monotonously boring, but Stacy kind of showed me how to fill out the paperwork to get the body cam footage. So the paramedics were at the accident. They did not have a camera. She is standing beside my son's dead body. And I'm like, who is this fucking bitch beside my kid's body? Seriously. The first officer, who is now dead, and the first witness, who is now dead. So the officer got beat up by his LAPD traffic division buddies during training, and the family sued, and they lost, and I'm sure they're going to sue again. He was there. His name was Houston, and it's Tipping, Officer Tipping, and that happened. And then Ryan, the kid that was driving behind Keith, who said to me, the lady that pulled out in front of your son, that's what he told me. And he saw my sign. The police never told me about this witness. Never told me, because he called his report in, because at the time, he may have had not had a license or not had insurance, and he may have been smoking weed. This could have been what he said to me. Anyway, at the time, so he got out of his car and he went over to Keith, right? Yeah, I didn't soften the color. I'm going to bleach it more. It's too yellow. But I did cut it because I'm going to the desert anyway. So long story short, the kid Ryan, he told me the woman didn't hit your son, so it's not really her fault. Well, even if you don't hit somebody and you put them in imminent danger and you don't tell the people, the police, like, I ran out in front of this person and I may have caused him to not know which way to go or whatever. I don't use toner on my hair. I just bleach light. I don't like toner. It comes out. It's stupid. Sorry, I don't like toner. I've always just bleached for like 40 years. I love just bleaching. I'm just a bleach girl. Okay, so anyway, he told me, and then I heard another video from another homeowner, Rachel, and she sent the video, and when you pull up the volume on the video, it sounds like somebody saying, what did you do? What did you just do? And I think it was Ryan talking to her. So he said she was a chubby blonde chick, and he said she was driving a black vehicle. That's all I knew. Anyway, I couldn't find any mention of this chick. I asked the cops, I did this, I did that, right? So no one would admit they pulled out and caused an accident. You say that, but if the young man is dead, I would most certainly say there and say I pulled in front of him. That's where you're wrong. I would 100% as a mother do that. You may not do it because you don't care if someone runs over your kid. You can't say that. If someone hits your fucking kid, you're going to want them to tell you, even if it is an accident. If you're not high, you're not going to get arrested. If you are high, then you should get arrested, okay? Or drunk. But as a mother, that's an irritating comment. I know men tend to say that. I know fucking men tend to say it. I would definitely take accountability because the family of the dead person doesn't know what the fuck happened. They waste their resources, their court, their lawyer, their sleep. They harass the neighborhood. They harass the police. What kind of person walks away? Why would you stay at the scene, walk over a fucking, thank you, Catherine, the cowards do that, walk all over the dead person's space with your fucking kid in the car, come in two different directions in your fat ass, talking to my son up. Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that and say nothing? And when the officer says, ma'am, are you involved in the accident? She's a cunt. That's how she lives with herself. Anyway, when the officer says 4 times on the tape or 5 times, thank you for that, and says, okay, and says, can you give your name? And this bitch doesn't do it. And then she leaves the scene and comes back. And then she says she's with the family because she's pretending to bring water to Key's friend George. When George's mother's like, we had water in the trunk of our car. I don't know why she did it. I know why she did it. She set up an alibi. That's why she did it. And then she came back in and she described me to the officers and she described my husband and she described my son and she told the officers what's happening, but never left her name. So yeah, anybody who walks it, people cause accidents. People cause accidents for sure. And it would be devastating to be the person responsible, but you just don't take off. And if you're going to take off, don't stay at the scene and walk all over my child's space staring at his dead body. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, sorry. I'm composed now. Anyway, it triggers me. Triggers me. No, I'm in civil court. So civil court's different. She's wrong not to do it, okay? She's wrong not to say something because for 4.5 years, I didn't sleep, all right? Neither did John, neither did Jason, neither did one of Key's friends, neither did the mothers that helped raise my son. Nobody slept. Nobody slept because we didn't know. She sleeps well at night. Of course she does. Of course she does. She's a horrible human being. She has no remorse, making her a sociopath. I mean, who doesn't do that? Who doesn't say something? Like, even if it is an accident, you can't make amends. Like, I'm going to be pissed at you, but at least the officers could tell the family, this lady pulled out. She thinks she may have caused your son to second guess where he was going, you know, because she pulls out, stops the car in his lane. He goes around her and then she juts out again and he turns around and then I can't see what happens because it's off the camera. So it's not venting, it's factual. Why do you leave the scene? Why do you think it's okay to do it? But she followed the criminal thing. She stayed there for 40 minutes just before I got there. Anyway, Stacy helped me get Yeah, I'm so sorry you lost your daughter. It's terrible. It's terrible. No, they blamed it on Keith. And you can blame it on my son, but that's not what happened. And I knew it wasn't what happened. I'm not saying kids don't squirrel around and do shit, but it was a flat road. It was 6 lanes. Why is he running off a 6-lane road? I mean, it was 6 lanes. So anyway, the beautiful lawyer, whose name is Karen, who took the case pro bono for me 2 weeks before I got sued by everybody in the case. The beautiful, hi Beth, the beautiful lawyer that took the case, and beautiful, right? I mean, heartfelt. She literally got the judgment. So there is a judgment against this woman. And I'm going to say more later on. I'm not going to say more now, but you would collapse, Bethany, because you would say, I mean, she tried to sue you. No, she didn't try to sue me. I have her in court. She didn't fucking try to sue me. Kelowna, Jen, I know where you are. You're near Penticton. Yeah, we're thinking of going there in July. Treated. Yeah, yeah, it's not slander. It's in the court case. You can look it up online. There's a judgment in my son's name in the court case. So that's a fact. That's a fact. That's not slander. Slander is when you lie about somebody. There's no lie here. My husband's from Vancouver, ex-husband. It does seem premeditated, doesn't it? Does. Yeah. So anyway, Keith deserved the respect of somebody saying, I saw the bike look back at me and I think it may have caused him to go this way. Whatever. I remember Ryan, and Ryan told me she pulled out in front of my son, but didn't kill him because she didn't touch him with the car. And then I found out it's called a no contact hit and run when you don't stay. That's what it's called. So, yeah. No, she didn't take responsibility. She didn't. A judgment just means you can go after her, but yes, I feel it. I was threatened with that. Now, when you say, I don't know if she can be charged criminally. We have to wait for her. We have to wait to see what goes, because you can get a judgment against somebody, and I guess they can, let's see, they punished you by taking, yeah, well, you can punish me. I don't give a fuck. You can take Keith, you can take whoever you want. I don't care. You're not going to shut me up. You're not going to shut me up just because you threaten to kill people around me. That's bullshit. And my kids wouldn't want me to do that. So that's just bullshit. That's why everybody's a fucking coward, because they're afraid of dying. We all die. We all fucking die. So yeah, do whatever. Do whatever you got to do. Yeah, it sounded exactly. The Angie Stone, is that the TikToker person? That was the same thing. But here's how it can be murder without it being murder. So let's look at it. Let's look at it in a different way. Let's look at it in the way that when somebody is on drugs and alcohol, for example, or pain pills, because she seemed loopy in the video. But let's say somebody, oh, she's a singer. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not really sure who she is. I thought she was the TikToker named Angie something too. But well, you have to open up a criminal case again, and they shut that down. That doesn't matter to me. It's like OJ. OJ wasn't convicted criminally, but civilly, they put a judgment against him and blocked him. Okay, blocked him from living his life. And yeah, these are my children on my arm. This is my boys together. 4 and 7. 4. I think Keithy was 4 here. Right around there. And Jace. And then Keithy when he was younger than 4, maybe like 3, with his little long hair. And Keithy at 24 and Jason at 31. Anyway, yeah, R&B. Yeah, I don't even know who she is. I'm sorry. That's terrible. But yeah, it doesn't matter. The cops don't care. Once they close a case, they don't care. So you'd have to get it to open again. But that doesn't matter in civil court. You can be found guilty in civil court and not, like that's O.J. Simpson. So OJ had to leave the state in order to earn a living and stuff, because in California, all his money was blocked. When he went to Vegas, karma, I've said this, when he went to Vegas, he stole back his whole Heisman trophy, which was his Heisman trophy, which it was his, but he locked them in the hotel. In Vegas, that's kidnapping. So he went to jail for 13 years for kidnapping. You see what I'm saying? So that's interesting, right? But So you can be found, but here's the thing. Here's how people commit murders. So let's look at it this way. This is something to teach you about the beast system. So people say, why would God let that happen? Well, God doesn't let that happen because God is not running around. Um, Keith liked to do rap, but neither one of my boys was a rapper. Deanna's grandson was the rapper, and Keithy was friends with the rappers. He was going to go on tour with them as the bodyguard at one point, as the security, whatever security for them. The kids he went to high school with were all the rappers, and so Deanna's grandson, when he came to Keith's memorial, all the kids that were out doing rapping were at the memorial. Anyway, this is what can happen. So the beast system, and thank you. You guys have been so supportive. Civil cases. Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, we didn't have a criminal court because they didn't acknowledge the car. They couldn't find the woman. So they closed Keith's case in the first 2 months. It took me 4.5 years to track the woman driving the car down. You understand? This is going on year 5. I've been doing this for that time, along with Bobby, along with Stacy, along with all of you, and whoever sent me the name of the person after I put her picture on Keith's crime page. So after I screenshotted it. So there was no criminal case because it was shut because they couldn't find the person in the car. Bobby, me, Stacy, we found her, and Glenn Love on my Keith Bella crime page on Facebook was the one that sent me Sloan. I think this is her. Cindy and Kate, Cindy, she's on TikTok. What the hell is Cindy Alexis? I think she is on TikTok. She does political stuff. Cindy's daughter had access to all kinds of stuff. They did everything to search this woman out. It was really hard to find her. We got a judgment in court. We got a judgment against her. Yeah, she looked like, Trump would have hated her. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Okay, so, but here's how the beast system works. So there's people, in your neighborhood, 1,000 people, 700,000 people, 1 million people, SoCal, right? So some people are really in tune. Thank you, Love a Scorpio, an orange man bad. Some people are, well, it's my true experience. Like, this is what I did to find her. This is what every mother needs to do and not listen to the police. Find out what happened to your child. Be lucky and find out. Okay. Yes. The beast system. So you've got, just think of the mafia, like John Gotti, the mafia. They got the Dapper Don, in his suits, and he's the boss. And the Sopranos, Tony Soprano. And then you got the underlings. Then you got the construction workers. Then you got the kids that run around like that De Niro movie where they drop off race receipts and money and they sell weed. They're just the underlings. They all buy in Teflon Don. Exactly. They all buy into the beast system. Okay. So their allegiance is to the beast system, whatever you want to call that. They get money and they get rewarded on this side. The more money, the more rewards on this side. Okay. So then God's children who do not buy into that kind of a system, they walk among the beast system people, right? But the energy is low in frequency here. So when the beast system wants to stop one of God's people, you will see, there's movies, and that Denzel Washington movie, it's going to drive me crazy, so I'm going to have to look it up. But the Denzel Washington movie where the spirits jump in, and there's another serial killer movie where the spirit jumps in. So what happens is they get one of their sold out people. So somebody who aligns with money, and they may not make much money. Fallen, thank you. Oh my God, I forget it every time. It's so annoying. So an entity can tap into a weak cottage cheese etheric body. Why is your body cottage cheese? Do you drink? Are you depressed? Do you smoke weed every day? Are you taking Percocets, Percodan, whatever? What are you doing to not close off your etheric energy? And if they can get in there, they can use the physical human vessel as an instrument to cause chaos to one of God's or many of God's, right? That possession. And it's temporary because they hate human bodies. I've seen them pop in and pop out, pop in and pop out. That's what happened. It doesn't have to be like her full intent, like, I'm going to go out and get Keith Bella. It's not like that necessarily. It can be like that, but stigmata, yeah, anything like that. But they come in and they kind of take over, and the person is doing something, not paying attention and causing something. And it's a series of circumstances that leads to the chaos that causes distraction, so you don't do your soul's work. And losing a child is one of those horrific fucking distractions. It's horrific. Ottawa can't, Canadian lawyer. Yeah, Jesus is always needed. And that's what happened. I could tell by her eyes. Her eyes were like, she's a fucking asshole. I mean, same time you lost Keithy. Oh my God, hits you. Of course, grief hits you. I believe mermaids are real. Yes. That's why we idolize mermaids. That's why we do that. Yes. But that's how it works. So every time you're somewhere and there's the choice to be a good person, and then there's someone who like robs you when you've fallen down and hit your head on a sidewalk, the beast system versus one of God's. It happens all the time. It happens within your family. It happens within your friend circle. And so I used to be a mermaid. Yeah. And so that's how it happens. So they want to target you because they don't want you talking about child trafficking. They don't want you talking about that. And like I said with Gene Hackman, the day that he died, it has to do with his property, period. Period, period, period. And not necessarily him doing it, but what, yeah, okay, no, I'll finish. Not necessarily him doing it, but them using his property and him causing a problem and etc. I will be putting the video up this week. It's already on Patreon. How do you strengthen your spiritual body? Okay, the quickest way, let me check. I got a few more minutes. The quickest way is to exercise in nature. Trees, plants, flowers. This could be the grass on your front lawn. It could be your neighbor's fruit tree. It could be the little tree where your dog goes out in the grass and digs. 20 minutes a day in nature, right? 20 minutes a day in nature. Exercise to strengthen. The more time spent alone. In other words, not asking opinions, not doing this, not doing that, right? No drugs, no alcohol, no sleeping pills, no pain pills. Get your weight under order, eat properly, take your salt baths, pray, and be happy. They hate happy. They hate plants around your treadmill perfectly. They hate it. Treat your body with the respect. People always say they believe in God and then they go out and do stuff that is horrible on your body. Don't do that. No multiple sex partners. No multiple sex partners. That's terrible. Yeah, don't do that. It's not that it's terrible, it's that it leaves you dirty, meaning their energy. Yeah, thank you for that, Mark. Yeah, it was horrific. It is horrific. Please lie all the time. Wait, hold on. They don't care. Wait, please lie all the time. They don't care. I don't know what that means. Yeah, not porn. Yes, Prozac counts. In order to get and I've said this, I'm not telling you to quit your Prozac. I've said this for decades. 20 minutes, 3 times a day of exercise recalibrates your brain chemistry so you don't have depression. And people prefer pills. That's mind-blowing, okay? When you can just go out and run or ride your bike every day. Simple, simple. Always take action. I wouldn't vape. Vape is bad for you. Not for OCD. It does. I'm OCD, dyslexic, anxiety, all of that. I'm all of that shit. And I've worked very hard. I was agoraphobic, cut my hair off, wouldn't eat, anorexic, bulimic, all of that shit. I've worked very hard. I know what it takes, and I'm telling you, exercise will change your life. Go out into nature. I don't care how fat you are, how ugly you think you look, what your ass looks like, what your hair looks like, whether you wear a beanie, whether you got to get up at 4 a.m., do it at noon, walk around every day. I'm telling you, I don't miss a fucking day because if I do miss a day, which I have missed a day, then I'm calling John and I'm like, I feel like I want to kill myself because I get depressed. Don't miss a day. It's about you. I had fibromyalgia, and the other thing, Epstein-Barr. I had all of that. Okay. It took me decades to get out of that. So walking recalibrates and endorphinizes your brain. running, walking, cardio, bike riding, boxing, basketball. I don't care what you do. It makes you happy, but you have to do it. You don't get to sit there and take a pill and think it's going to make you better. It can if you're in a really dark place at that moment, but what do you, pickleball, great, tennis, whatever it is, whatever. Lupus is a bit hard, but you can walk and get it under control. Exercise. I don't miss a day. People pick on people like me, like they're like, oh, you do this, you do that. I'm like, I run 8 miles every day. Every day, okay? Every day. And if I can't run the 8 miles because it's raining, then I'm running in the rain. And then I'm taking classes, and I'm doing that because it calibrates my mood so that I can actually look out a window and not want to poke my eyes out. So every day I do it. I believe lupus is caught, and I believe you can get it under control. Yeah, they hate fit people. They want to punish you. Everybody's like, go take a diet, do this. And then women torture you because you're fit. And I'm not even trying to be hot flashes. I'll tell you what to do. I was menopause. I've been in menopause for 5 years, going on 6. Haven't had a period. Yeah. Anyway, so any kind, swimming, red light sauna. But what cured my menopause was acupuncture. I did acupuncture, and it's so weird that the day after Keith died, I had an acupuncture appointment set up. But vitamin B1, B12, vitamin D, vitamin K, all of that. I had an acupuncture thing set up, and my chiropractor, because I go from the chiropractor to the acupuncture to the red light therapy room. That I do it in the one place, right? So I went in there, and my chiropractor looked at my shoulders. I didn't tell them about Keith. I had the appointment. I wasn't crying or anything. I just looked normal. And it was like my shoulders were hunched over. He said, "What happened to you?" And then I told him, but I scheduled my appointments after my son died. I didn't miss a single thing. I kept running. I did that after Jimmy too. I just kept doing it. And so the acupuncture helped me, just really helped me. And now I don't stop all day. That's a little bit of avoidant. Like, I don't stop. I don't just do reading. I just keep going, doing my life. Keep moving, keep planning trips, planning this. I plan anything and everything. Like a trip, I kept driving to Palm Springs after Keith and not running up under the tram, but walking around different towns, Idlewild, looking for beetles. I mean, I was doing stupid shit. I'd drive, I'd come back in here, I'd drive back out, I'd drive back, and I just do anything to keep moving until I could function. And that's what I did. I just knew I had to crawl out of it. I couldn't stay in bed. I couldn't drink or drug. You can't do that. That's one way to handle it, but you're going to hurt yourself more doing that. You're going to hurt yourself. And I know that you have a right to get drunk and do this and do that, but it's not going to help you. It's self-indulgent, and you're not dealing with your issues. You can do it, and I understand completely, because the rest of my family was high as a kite after Keith died. High as a fucking kite, all of them, everybody, friends, everybody, fucking high as a kite, okay? They're all crazy. And I was sober, so I was watching it, but I just kept doing everything I could do to memorize my child, throw parties twice a year, get the kids together, watch their kids, show up at all their events on behalf of my child. So that's what I did. Yeah, Lotus Spider, nature is magic. It is. And Tracy, yes, that's what I did. So in order to correct depression, which I understand because I've been depressed since I was a little kid, my entire fucking life, is exercise. I started going out by myself when I was 5 and running down the street. By the time I was 7, I was running up to the bus stops and the train stations 2.5 miles away. Then I was running in the park. Then I was doing cross country. And I never stopped. All my vacations with my kids were exercise vacations. So, and I had crippling anxiety. It started when I was 4. Crippling. And eating disorders starting at age 4. And fuckery. So I get it. Migraines is a different thing. That can be hormonal. Diabetes, if you need to take medicine so your pancreas doesn't go, but diet, exercise, a friend of ours, Vic, like literally cured his diabetes. He almost went blind. And he did the carnivore diet with salad, no soda, no rice, no beans, no blah, 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 any of that. So, okay, the third eye, if you want to know, I don't really know how to activate the third eye, but I will tell you, if you want to know how, the way that I do it. Oh, hi from Dublin. Yay. Yeah, no, acupuncture saved me during, look, I'm sweating. It's so hot outside. I don't think I was bipolar. I don't think, I'm going to get in so much trouble right now. I don't think I was bipolar. I think I was borax baths. Yes. No, salad. He ate salad and meat, but basically carnivore, like no dressing. I don't eat dressing on my salad. I don't eat sugar in my coffee. If I'm going to eat sugar, I eat frozen blueberries because they're cheaper than the other ones till it's spring. And then I eat pineapple, frozen pineapple. And I may put a little bit of honey on the pineapple when I really need sugar. It's true, I like sugar, but I don't go out and eat a chocolate bar. I like chocolate bars, don't get me wrong. But in order to open the third eye, hi there, the skipper. In order to open the third eye, when you meditate, focus your energy up here, focus your energy. And when you're running or walking, focus your energy on receiving information. Root chakra, let's see, Sloan, I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, 53. Oh my God, honey. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That's crazy. What happened? What happened? Is it legs? I guess it is legs. Doing tarot. Yeah. Anything. I mean, I look at. I wear Moldavite. Yeah. DK. Don't do. What do you call it? Fluoride in your toothpaste. Running stones, yeah, and focus on something. So in order to open the third eye, you have to see. So observe without emotional judgment. So when you're reading somebody, I don't give a fuck what you tell me. I'm having an affair. I fucked my son's best friend. I fucked my neighbor's wife. I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to read the situation. And a lot of people think that it can be judgy. It's not judgy. You have to really just get comfortable saying what it is that you pick up. So you have to practice owning your words, which is difficult for a lot of people. Look at this. This is my Moldavite in my pocket. Isn't it pretty? Look, can you see? So I carry my Moldavite in there so I can like, whatever, activate shit. And then I have Moldavite here, and then I have all my crystals here. So you can do, how do you cleanse when you have to cleanse yourself? Moldavite, yeah, you have to cleanse yourself. I know, I have cat eye nails because I'm doing performances. Do what you love. Always be happy. Do what you love. Okay, my husband, wait, I feel like my husband has a serious bad energy lately. So protect yourself from it. You can't change another person. You can't change your kids. You can't change your cat. You can't change your husband, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, or anybody. So don't try. Don't waste your time. Live your jazz hands. I do that. I'm such a clown. Like everybody's like trying to be really serious and really this, and I'm always hanging upside down doing some fuckery falling on my head, right? That's the bullshit. You don't have to run. Go on a treadmill, go on a bicycle, go in the pool, do anything. There's multiple exercises you can do. There's multiple exercises. Multiple. Therapy, perfect. My thoughts on suicide is it's murder. I've said this. When they start talking and you hear voices that tell you to do stuff, which is usually what the case is, no, I get my Moldavite from a Moldavite person. When you do that, they talk. They want to hurt human beings that believe in God. They want to hurt you. You have to know your own thoughts. We don't teach kids that metaphysically. You have to know your own thoughts. You have to know your own thoughts. You really do, right? Of course, God created stones and gems. What if you're old and sick? Yeah, no excuse. John's almost 80 and he's out walking. He's taking care of himself. You know, I don't use psychic oil anymore. No. I can make psychic oil. I just haven't made any and done anything. Um, so yeah, I mean, literally John has a hard time walking and working, but hard time walking, and he still does it. Yeah, I did use holy water in my house when I saw the demon in there. Oh my God, yes. And gongs clear the energy. Sound bowl meditation to open up. Sound bowl meditation. You'll go right out of your body. What kind of work do you do? Okay, yeah. Anyway, so angel light, yes, everything. Use what works with you. Exercise for anxiety. My ears itchy now. Sound bowls to open up. There's medical sound bowl teachers. You just have to raise your connectedness. And no matter what anyone says to you, I don't listen to them. I don't care. No, John doesn't do readings. John was in aerospace and John worked for the government for years. He did an aerospace inspection. And he owned bars and restaurants when I met him. And him and I owned a bar and a restaurant together, which made me want to stab myself right in the forehead. I hate this. I don't care if you want your French fries hot. I'd rather, oh, no. Anyway, yeah, frequency sound bowls. Look up sound bath. You can do it online too. So look that up. Now, the girl missing in Dominican Republic, Sadiqa. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. I really don't feel like that kid has anything to do with it. I know they're going to say he does, but I don't think he does. And here's the kicker. I think that the friends knew what was going on. I feel like they were all drugged. I feel like they were all drugged because they were young. And, oh, heroin. Okay, do you take, Frankie, I'm really sorry. Do you take Suboxone or methadone, any of that? The heroin is a bitch because the heroin, when you take the heroin, the drug itself is alive inside of your head. The head, do you know what I'm saying? Like you inject it into your body and it's alive. I pray for you to get clean. Addiction is horrible. I know you've got to get clean. What I would do, if you're willing to listen, this is what I would do. I would go to a healer. I'm talking an energetic healer, not a doctor. And I would clear the hanger-ons around my energy because heroin is so strong that it brings a lot of outside entities to you. And then they get stuck on you and they're the ones encouraging you. Addiction, I believe, is a spiritual thing. That's what I actually believe. So I would go to a healer and actually have the healer clear my body. Oh, Flo, thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. I truly thank you. It's going to the warehouse, Flo. All your lovely super chats and everybody else's is going shungite for spiritual attacks. Is going to the warehouse. I would get a clearing. I would pray. I would have a support system. Now I know that's hard because you just don't want to go walking around going, "Hi, I'm having trouble with heroin." I would go to both holistic and regular doctors. I would make sure that I was eating right nutritionally and up my vitamins because no matter the heroin, you're going to deplete the body's energy. I would do anything that anyone suggested to get off it, but I would keep my brain strong. I believe it's a spiritual thing that you have to hook into a strand of thought. You own your body, not that Chinese medicine, perfect acupuncture, red light sauna. I mean, I would go around doing all of those things in the cheapest way possible. And Suboxone works. Yes, I have family members on Suboxone. It works. I work with shelter kids on Suboxone. Suboxone is very helpful. I mean, anything that stops you from using, because the next time you go out and use heroin, it's going to have fentanyl in it because they're putting even fentanyl in weed, right? So the US is at war. We're already at war. Don't kid yourself. So I literally, and you know what? Here's what, okay, Lorie, who wrote the book, let me bring out the book again. Notes to George, The Whisperer. We were talking about this yesterday. I was asking about Suboxone and what she felt about it because there are side effects with it. But she said, because she works, she has all of her shelters the Teen Project, her new shelter that was Children of the Night, the other shelters, etc. She was saying that she went to an herbalist when she was kicking heroin. She went to an herbalist who gave her, cook something up. Like she was trying everything. This is years ago. She speaks about it in her book and in her tour. And she's been clean ever since. And she's of service to people too. So be of service. And I know it's a huge physical thing. She said ginger tea. Something with her stomach was out of a line and she wasn't able to sleep. And so I don't know if it was her mom or her sister or whoever took her to the herbalist lady who had all these herbs in the backyard. She gave her fresh ginger tea. And Lorie said it hit my stomach and I went to sleep for the first time and I started to get better. So you might want to try that. You might want to try that. And I mean, I believe you can get sober because I believe it's a spiritual thing. So, and I really believe that. I believe it 1,000%. So those are my advice to you. Thank you, Flo, for that. Okay, wait, there's no air. Flo, I have to put you on the list. I received I've got it right here. I have Flo's chart right here. I finally opened the package. You'll go on the list, but it'll probably be in May because I don't think I have any openings. So I will get a hold of you for that. And thank you for that. I received everything you sent me over here and your pictures. Flo is really cute. Her family is cute. I finally just opened. I had stacks of it. I can never get to anything because I'm so ADD. Yeah, okay, hold on here. What is this? After I was on Suboxone and used it and tried Suboxone again, it almost killed me. Be careful. Yes, so Suboxone. Now, some of the people I've talked to on Suboxone, they do wean themselves out, but Frankie was asking what to do to get off of the heroin. And if they're having trouble getting off of it, then I would go find a doctor for Suboxone and then try that if you haven't tried it, right? And then like you're going to have side effects. It does hit the teeth, it does hit all of that, but I don't know, do you want to die of a fentanyl overdose? I don't think you do. What about alcohol abuse? Oh God, there's so many. Anything you're addicted to, you have to raise your frequency and your vibration. So you have to, first of all, addiction is trauma. I believe that. I believe it, okay? And all my friends in the field who deal with it, addiction is trauma. So yes, ibogaine in Mexico, I've read about that too. That's like a mushroom, right? If I'm correct, Lauren Renee, I've heard about that. Methadone is another version of Suboxone. If you're on methadone and it's working, then do that. That's one or the other. Suboxone's been around however long, and then methadone. I don't know about tree bark, but I'll believe you. Oh, it's a tree bark. I got you. I believe addiction is trauma. So the fact that you're allowing yourself to be taken over like that, and then it puts a physical addiction on you, which is spiritual. So you have to, when you're addicted, you think from a certain level of frequency, if I could word it like that. It's a certain mindset. You're in bars, you're around shady personalities, you're on corners dealing drugs, you're going to somebody's mother's house and talking nice and being trickery and buying drugs. That's a frequency. So you have to like raise your frequency. When you get sober, you're going to deal with your emotional pain. So you're going to need and absolutely no sex with anybody. And so you're going to need to figure out what your trauma is. And it can be simple. It doesn't have to be horrific trauma. It's that's a good one. That's so good. Wait, who said that? Mud chat, so good. Call all your energy back to you. That's such a good thing. All your power from any person, place, or thing in the name of Jesus. Amen. That's a good thing too, because addicts are out of control. They're completely out of control, or they wouldn't have to do that. So they've got to raise their frequency to know that they don't live in that frequency. You don't live in the gutter anymore. So get yourself out of the gutter. I don't know how to use charcoal, but I believe you. Right. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Truth. I believe addiction is trauma. I also believe it's a spiritual effect that affects you in a physical body because you are physical. So spiritually, it's an out of balance that then leads to a physical addiction. But I believe it's spiritual first, and doctors are responsible. Yes, the lobbyists, aka doctors, the dealers in white suits. That's what they're known as. I know you can do it, Frankie. Let us know. I have to run, all of you all, and thank you so much. But okay, real quick. Generational, when they say you have a predisposition towards alcoholism, drug addiction, because Aunt Susie did this and Uncle Fred did that, and blah, blah, blah. Your father was an alcoholic. That's in your DNA, but that's also ayahuasca. Yeah, I'm not going to do ayahuasca. My friend told me that he saw the devil on ayahuasca, and I'm like, nope. I'm not going there. No, no, no. That's me. Adoption is trauma. I absolutely believe it. So wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the lineage of addiction. Your gene pool may have a predisposition, but your free choice. Thank you, Flo, for that. Thank you so much. And thank you for that, Patriot girl. Thank you. Thoughts on Marconi as prime? Yeah, I don't know about that. That's the guy they just elected, the banker guy. I don't like bankers. Why is a banker running the country? Fuck that guy. If that's the guy, because I'm not even up on my Canadian politics. But I think when it comes to addiction, that is ancestral. So the energy, once your uncle, your cousin, your grandfather, your brother, sister, whoever dies of a drug overdose or alcoholism, that energy attaches on and continues. So you have to not look at it like that. And you have choice. Everything you do is a choice every day. You make that choice. You do not have to make that choice. But that is a spiritual practice, right? My Patreon is my name, Sloan Bella. So that's what it is. And it can skip generations. It will try to take you out from your purpose. That's all addiction is. So you don't walk in God's light. So you don't trust that you're going to be something after this life. That's all it is. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the super chats. I'm so happy. Gambling addiction's like drinking addiction. Like you're getting high off it. Like whatever. Chocolate bar addiction. Coffee addiction. Guilty. And I don't want to give it up. So I completely understand. So thank you guys. The girl in the Dominican Republic, I believe they were all poisoned. I believe they were all poisoned, every single one of them. And I don't feel that girl drowned, nor do I feel like the kid that they put into custody did anything. And that's the first time you're going to hear that from me. The kid from Ohio or Idaho or wherever he's from, I don't feel that that kid did it. I feel he was as poisoned as her. That's what I feel. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I will see you soon. I will be uploading Gene Hackman on Tuesday. The Patreon always gets it first. It's usually uploaded on Thursday to Patreon and YouTube on Monday, but I was a day late. So that's the thing. Okay, you guys, bye. Thank you all. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.